For most of the 5 years that I've lived in Doodle, I use baby wipes and shower gel. And no one's ever said I smell bad.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in to another video. We're here with Pete today, who's been living in his van for 5 years.
If you like our videos and you want to support what we do, we've got a members channel where we show a vlog of the full filming day. We've also got merch out and behind the scenes footage. All the links will be down below, but there'll be more on that at the end of the video.
I hope you enjoyed the video and we'll get back to it.
Right, my name's Pete. I'm currently a full-time carer, part-time artist, living in my camper van, Doodle, and we live pretty much everywhere and anywhere. It was a Saturday afternoon. I was already doing 90 hours a week for a web development company, and I was working on this website for a client that never said thank you. And my son was on the sofa and he asked me to go and sit with him so I could play the computer game. I said no, because I was working on a website. And in that instance, I knew I'd got the whole work-life, family life balance wrong. And I couldn't get off that track of needing to spend time and use my time for things that were important, which was my son. Wanting to spend time with him, I got a camper van so that we could go away on weekends. And it was the best thing I ever did. Before I became a full-time van dweller, I was a graphic designer, web developer, and I had been for 30 years. And after quite a huge breakdown, I lost everything, but found this path to van life. Well, this is a Mazda Bongo, a 1996 all-wheel drive. There wasn't another van for me. The word Doodle has taken over everything in my life. It's even part of my online brand. It's on all of my books, on all of my colouring books, and it was always going to be called Doodle, always. I sound mad. I sound bonkers. Having a small van allows you to stealth camp, which is what I do 99% of the time. At 10 o'clock at night, I'll park anywhere, and around 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, dependent on how tired I am, I will leave that area so nobody knows I even existed. And it always sounds a contradiction, because look at the van. When I say I don't want the attention, I've gone for the brightest colour, there's stickers everywhere, do you know what I mean? So there's kind of a contradiction there. The challenges of living in a small van is I'm quite a wide lad. I have struggled moving around in this van sometimes, and my age is starting to shine. One of the biggest challenges of having a smaller van is you can't have a shower, you can't have a toilet. So you have to reframe your hygiene, and that's what I've done. Because I've been supporting my client for 2.5 years, I spend most of my days fitting around him. But what I do is, I make sure I know what shops are open in the morning, what facilities they've got, because obviously that's part of my care for my client. I need to know where all the toilets are in the place where I'm working. So when we're out and about, we're never stuck. I know where all the public toilets are that are open all the time. And what I do is if I go to the toilet at a shop, a supermarket, I'll make sure I buy something so that you're not using anything for nothing. There has to be a positive exchange. And for showers, I have some very understanding clients, but for most of the 5 years that I've lived in Doodle, I use baby wipes and shower gel. And no one's ever said I smell bad. There's a box here that's full of deodorant and full of shower gel and full of baby wipes. So I make sure that I'm thoroughly clean. Oh dear. The weird thing is, it's going to be on camera. It is, but do you know, its thing is, like I said, I've been doing this for 5 years now, and you just go through the process, and nobody sees your process, nobody hears your process, you just do it, that's life, you get on with it. Behind here are my clothes, so I've got my t-shirts, jumpers, socks and underwear just in these baskets. These are a necessity for any van dweller. All my electrical cables if I'm on a campsite, and then this is just my garage under the bed. I've got a toolkit. Behind here, I've actually got a diesel heater, but because of the size of the van, I put it on once and it got too hot, so I've never used it. So what I do in winter is I just layer up the teddy bear bedding. That's the best thing anyone could buy, honestly. I've got my leisure battery, and then that's just to let everybody know, you know, I'm aware. Again, if you ever see me out and about and you want to chat, come and have a chat, because you just don't know what it's going to do. This is not his best side, because he's still got patches of rust. I used to have a solar panel, but someone stole it on someone else's van or on somebody else's shed. Again, this is just me giving back a little bit. So visit the site and get free colouring art, if you like. He's a bit like me, really. In some lights, he looks all right. And if you squint, it's palatable. He's showing his age. It's perfect for my needs. Not for everybody's needs, but for my needs, it's perfect. I had to name him Doodle. This awning came with the van, and I've used it once. And I'd never park up and bring attention to myself by using it. Moments of madness, and it was at the beginning of the whole lockdown scenario. I just knew something was wrong, and I wanted to make my mark and make people realise. And obviously, I think art in its entirety is a form of anarchy. You just don't want to be governed, you don't want to be told. I can't be told what to do. I'm terrible. I think of myself as an anarchist, and being a van lifer is part of the anarchy narrative, because it's about not being governed. Unfortunately, we live in a systematic world. But what you can do is you can pick your system. Like, I decided years ago that owning a house, having 2 cars, I was just about to buy my second house. Possessions is not for me. I don't want to have things. When I first moved into the van, I was sleeping widthways, and I'm 5'10". It took me 3 years to get the interior how I needed it for my living. I haven't got a kitchen. You know, most of my money goes on food, on nice food, instead of, you know, cooking in the van. No, I don't do takeaways. I eat a lot of cold food. Yeah, that's my solution. I've got a stove. I've got a stove there, but I never park anywhere where I want to be seen to be cooking and have my windows open. The biggest consideration that I found, major maintenance. If you have something major that needs doing on the van, you need to have somewhere else to stay. This has had 2 engine rebuilds. Luckily, I could be with the van while one of the garages was doing it. I was sleeping in the back while he's got all the mechanic stuff out. So you just have to find a way. But that was the biggest thing. You have to have somewhere to stay if your van's off the road. Being a full-timer, it's important. Van life has helped me with my mental health because I can be out of the grind and the noise. Living in a van has definitely changed my perception. I'm more aware of my surroundings. There's this amazing time in the morning between 4 and 5 where all there is nature. You can see it and you can feel it. If you let yourself be aware, you can feel the change. And when you start hearing cars, all the nature goes, all the rabbits go away, the birds change. Definitely developed an appreciation for this planet that we're on. I know that sounds like a grand thing, but it's true. I sit and listen more to what's going on around me. Being a graphic designer and a web developer for 30 years, you sat in front of a computer screen and you're constantly thinking about other people's money and you're constantly thinking about other people's dreams and wants. There is none of that. I appreciate this planet a lot more and I'm more aware of it than I've ever been. And it is about living. That word's really important, the word living. It's because a lot of people will live in a house, they will live in a place, but they're not living, they're not connected to life. I've moved all the stuff from under what would normally be under the bed. I've moved it out so that you can get the perfect shots. Well, the front is where I spend most of my time. You can tell by the seat. I've sat there 80% of the time that I'm in the van, and I usually put my iPad on the steering wheel and just sit there listening to a podcast, drawing away. As part of my well-being, I've started boxing and doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu again. That's definitely making me realise how old I am. I want to be comfortable when I'm laid down. So I went for the full width bed, which didn't leave me a lot of room for any cupboards. One thing I do love about living in a van is that everything's at arm's length, so you don't have to move very far. This is why I've had to start training again. Everything that I need on a daily basis is on top. It tears down to things I may need, a bit more regular, and then stuff that I very rarely need. Under the bed, I've got a table, all of my tools, everything I'm going to need to fix the van, liquids. Obviously, as part of my care, I need to print out timesheets. So having the print in the van is almost a must, really. For the power in the van, I've got an all-powers power bank, and it's been brilliant. If it's a sunny day like today, that will charge in a day. I bought a 100-watt solar panel, foldable solar panel. You can absolutely put it anywhere, hang it on anything. That's been one of the best things I've bought. So I charge the all-powers bank and then run everything off that. If I'm on a campsite, I will cook, so I will use the little stove there. This actually came with the original kitchen in the van, so at least I've got somewhere to cook or to draw or to create. The table normally lives there, and it's as simple as, there you go, and that's it, simple as that. And it's a full-size bed. And look at all the storage underneath. It's fantastic, it's the best thing. So it's a full-size rock and roll bed. It didn't leave me a lot of room for cupboard space, but I'd rather be comfortable. And if you haven't got a lot of cupboard space, you don't carry a lot of things. It made me rethink what I carry in the van as well. As much as I've got all of the things out of the van is usually set up like this, and I would put all of those things under the bed. I couldn't have it any other way. It's such a lovely place to be. The biggest part of my journey has been kind of looking after and nurturing my own mental health. I've been creating art based on that for the last 10, 15 years. And I've had a great response from people that have actually bought the book. If you want to find any of my books online, it'll be linked under the video. Where you park at night is the biggest question. And I park everywhere and anywhere, but nobody knows. In 5 years that I've lived in this van, a police officer has only ever come to see what I've been doing once. For anybody that's thinking about van life in right now, do it while you can, because without going too deep into this, we are being governed by people that don't want us to be free. Do it now, do it while you can. The future of van life is that you can't separate me from this van. We've had too many experiences together. We've been everywhere. Everywhere that I wanted to van life, we've been. And after 2 engine rebuilds, it's a relationship I can't break. I can't. We are known together as well, wherever we are. I've had everything from, I would hate to be you, I would hate to think like you, to I wish I was doing that. So it's been quite the gamut of opinions and everywhere in between. They say when you're traveling, you're either looking for something or you're getting away from something. And for the first time being in this van, I'm neither. I've never had more moments of joy strung together than I've had living in this van. I can't remember last time I slept in a house, to be honest. I wouldn't know what to do with all that space and all that room. You don't need it. You just don't need any of that. It's funny because we've been brought up in a society that is more. And the minute you become conscious of what's happening, you know that you need less. Thanks for watching. I've been Doodle Pete. And don't forget to check out the other videos.
All right guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks to Pete for showing us around and telling us his story.
As we said earlier, if you want to support what we do, we have merch out. We've actually collaborated with Pete from this video on one of the designs, so check that out, it'll be somewhere here. And we've also got a members channel where you'll see a vlog of the film and day, behind the scenes footage. You get to see all that extra footage as well as supporting what we do.
All right, and we'll see you in the next one.